Imagine for a moment, World War III has begun. Walls of fire stretch across the sky, as if the sun itself has crashed down to Earth. The blinding flash of nuclear explosions swallows entire cities in seconds. New York, Washington, Los Angeles. One by one, the greatest symbols of modern civilization are reduced to rubble. Massive tsunamis rise from the oceans and slam into the coastlines. Earthquakes shake entire continents. Everywhere you look, destruction, chaos, panic. Civilization itself seems to be reaching its final moments. And yet, in the middle of all this horror, when it feels like the world is coming to an end, a plane is flying 45,000 feet above the ground. No missile can touch it. No radiation can stop it. Even in the middle of a nuclear war, it keeps flying, unstoppable, untouchable. And inside that plane sits the most powerful person on Earth, the President of the United States. You might be thinking, I already know everything about Air Force One. But do you really? This plane has secret systems and classified technology that the government has never fully revealed to the public. And what little we do know is more incredible than anything Hollywood could dream up. But here's the real question. How is this even possible? What exactly is on this plane that makes it the safest place on Earth? The name of this mysterious aircraft is Air Force One. Hidden inside it are some of the most advanced technologies, classified systems, and secret features ever built. Protection from nuclear blasts, cutting-edge missile defense, and technology so secret it's never been publicly discussed. All of it combined makes this plane a fortress wrapped in mystery. The history of this plane is just as fascinating. There was a time when American presidents traveled on regular commercial flights. But in 1943, during World War II, it was decided for the first time that President Franklin D. Roosevelt needed a dedicated aircraft for security reasons. Back then, it didn't even have a name. That all changed in 1953 because of a strange incident. President Eisenhower was flying on a plane when a commercial aircraft of the same type entered the same airspace, causing confusion at air traffic control. After that incident, a decision was made. Whatever plane the president is on, its call sign will be Air Force One. The iconic blue and white design you see today was the vision of President Kennedy himself, brought to life by world-renowned industrial designer Raymond Loewy. First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy was also directly involved in shaping the design. That design has never changed since, because some things are so perfect, they don't need to be touched. Later, in the 1980s, President Ronald Reagan felt the need for a more modern and powerful aircraft. The result was the Boeing 747-200B based VC-25A, which entered service in 1990 and remains the backbone of Air Force One today. This aircraft spans nearly 4,000 square feet across 3 levels. Inside is a private office for the president, often called the Oval Office in the sky. From here, he can communicate with any world leader, make critical decisions, and run the country from the clouds. September 11th, 2001. Do you remember that morning? Those who lived through it say America stood completely still for a moment. Smoke was pouring from the Twin Towers on every TV screen. People were standing on sidewalks, crying. Phone lines were jammed. Nobody knew what was coming next. Would there be more attacks? Was the country safe? But even in that moment, America never lost control. President George W. Bush was not on the ground. He was in the air, on Air Force One. While panic and confusion gripped the nation below, the full control of the country's security was being managed from inside that plane. Calls with military officials, critical decisions, coordinated responses, all of it happening tens of thousands of feet above the ground. That day, Air Force One wasn't just a plane. It was America's backbone. Now think about this. What if the president gets seriously ill while on board? Not a problem, because Air Force One has a fully equipped medical unit on board. Calling it a small hospital would actually be an understatement. There's always a supply of blood, emergency medications, and surgical equipment ready to go. If necessary, full surgery can be performed while the plane is still in the air. No other aircraft in the world has this capability. The food situation is just as impressive. This plane can store enough food to feed thousands of people at once. On long missions, it is completely self-sufficient. No outside help needed. But here's a fun rule. For safety reasons, no deep frying is allowed on board. Hot oil and a high-speed aircraft flying at 45,000 feet is a risk nobody is willing to take. But the most mind-blowing part of this plane is its defense system. If an enemy fires a missile, the anti-missile system kicks in instantly. Trying to track it on radar? Radar jamming technology blinds the enemy completely. And the most terrifying threat of all, a nuclear explosion? Even that won't stop it. When a nuclear bomb goes off, it releases an electromagnetic pulse, or EMP, that can knock out every electronic device within range in a split second. But Air Force One is built to withstand even that, which means even in the middle of a nuclear attack, this plane keeps flying, keeps working. And fuel? Not a concern either. Air Force One can refuel in mid-air, directly from a special tanker aircraft. It never has to land. If needed, it can stay in the sky for days, even weeks at a time. No matter how chaotic things get down below, this plane does not stop. This plane has also been a silent witness to some of the most dramatic moments in American history. November 22, 1963. President John F. Kennedy was shot in Dallas. The entire nation was devastated with grief. But the country cannot be without a leader. Not even for a single moment. That day, inside Air Force One, standing right next to Kennedy's flag-draped coffin, Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in as president. First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy was still on that same plane, her pink suit still stained with her husband's blood. The most heartbreaking transfer of power in history happened on this plane. Then came 1974. President Richard Nixon, cornered by the Watergate scandal, announced his resignation. He boarded Air Force One, still president at that moment. But by the time the plane lifted off from Washington, Gerald Ford had already been sworn in. Somewhere in the middle of the sky, in a single moment, Nixon went from President of the United States to a private citizen. This plane is not just a symbol of power. It is a silent witness to the rise and fall of power itself. Now think about the future. The year is 2030. A massive cyber war has broken out. Enemy forces have hacked into America's entire communication infrastructure. Satellites are down. The internet is dead. Military networks have been destroyed. But one plane is still flying. The next generation of Air Force One, currently under development, is being built exactly for this kind of scenario. Even if every communication system on Earth is destroyed, this plane will run on its own independent satellite network. Enemy radar won't be able to find it, because stealth technology will make it invisible in the sky, and its electronic warfare systems will neutralize any incoming attack within seconds. This plane isn't just built for today. It's being built for a future we can't even fully imagine yet. Many nations exist in this world. Many powerful militaries. But a plane that can fly through a nuclear war and from which an entire country can be governed, only America could build something like that. Air Force One is not just a plane. It is a promise that says, America never backs down. Even if the world is destroyed, this country will remain in control. This country's voice will never be silenced. As long as this plane is in the sky, America is still standing. So here's the question for you. Which fact about this flying White House surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a new upload.